Nebraska has one of the best incoming freshman classes in all of college football. And of course, it's headlined by five-star quarterback Dylan Raiola. However, there's another newcomer for the Huskers that nobody is talking about, and he just might be the best of the bunch. This is four-star wideout Jacory Barney. So in today's video, I'm going to take a deep dive into who he is, what he brings to the table, what do I predict throughout his first year with the Huskers, and why I believe he's a future first-round NFL draft pick. So really quick, hit that like button if you're starting to get fired up about Nebraska's football season. It's coming up quick. And while you're at it, please subscribe to the channel. I'm posting a video about Nebraska football and Nebraska recruiting every single day, and we've built a family of over 4,000 loyal subscribers. So if you're a diehard fan of this program, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on daily Husker content. It would help me out greatly. But without further ado, let's get into it, talking about Jacory Barney. And right off the bat, happy 4th of July, everybody. I hope you're having a good one, full of festivities and family. Just want to throw that out there. But yeah, let's talk about Jacory Barney. So this guy is a four-star wide receiver out of Miami, Florida, listed at 6 foot tall, 170. And man, I mean, coming out of high school, he was the real deal. I talked about him in my film reaction. He could do it all for his team, and you see that in his offer list. Miami, Michigan, Tennessee, Texas A&M. I mean, almost everybody wanted this guy, and for good reason. So what is he as a wide receiver? What can Nebraska fans expect? Well, right off the bat, he runs a legit 4.4 40 time, and he's a guy who can play all over the field. He can play in the slot. He can play wide receiver Z. He can even play in the backfield. So again, he's basically a Swiss Army knife. We know how important that is for Matt Rhule, and Husker fans have already got a glimpse of Jacory Barney. I mean, he balled out in the Nebraska spring game. He was one of my MVPs on offense. He ended the game with 66 receiving yards, 1 touchdown, in 97 yards returning kicks. So another guy who can return kickoffs and punts for the Huskers, and we're going to get into that as we talk about him. But yeah, I mean, just super versatile. And when I watched him on film, really good hands in route running, constantly beating guys off the line of scrimmage. And what was really impressive is that he thrives with the ball in his hands. I mean, he could juke out a couple players, make a spin move, break a tackle. That's what makes him elite. Another thing that I love about him is that really, again, he can do anything to get on the field. You want him to return punts? Do it. You want him to, play in the slot? Do it. He can play wherever. That's how talented he is. So, again, Jacory Barney, he's the real deal. When he got on campus for Nebraska a couple months ago, Dylan Raiola noted that he was one of those receivers that he's already built a great repertoire with. That's very important. And a lot of coaches said Jacory Barney, I mean, of all the true freshmen, he's working the hardest and he is turning the most heads. So we know how talented he is. But what can Nebraska fans expect throughout his true freshman campaign? I absolutely believe he's going to be in the rotation. I think he's a top 5 receiver on this Nebraska football team already. And this is a good receiver room. That just tells you how good Jacory Barney is. And the fact that he got there in the spring to be a part of the team early, that's going to mean very important things going into the fall. So again, he was an early enrollee. He did great during spring ball, during winter conditioning. And Matt Rhule said something last year that really gravitated towards me. He said he never redshirts talent. Jacory Barney is the definition of talent. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can play on special teams. He can block. He can play wide receiver Z. He can play slot. He can play X. He can play in the backfield. So again, Matt Rhule, he's the standard Matt Rhule type of wide receiver. That's why I think he's going to play. So yeah, I mean, he's the real deal. And I honestly think the Huskers are going to probably start him at kick returner as well. So expect Jacory Barney to be all over the field. That's what you could expect for him. But let's talk about what we actually can expect from a statistics standpoint. So I discussed him potentially being a top 5 receiver for Nebraska. I absolutely think he will be. This is the stat line that I project him to end 2024 with. 250 receiving yards, 20 receptions, 3 touchdowns, and he's going to start throughout the year as the main kick returner. So that's a really good stat line for a true freshman wide receiver. That's very similar to the true freshman campaign Stanley Morgan had, ex-Husker wideout. So you feel good about that. And I just love the fact that he's building this repertoire with Dylan Raiola. Again, that's what's important about all of this. Let's get into the importance. Dale Raiola, time and time again, said Jacory Barney's his main man when it comes to, again, building that connection, building that repertoire. And we could sit here and talk about Raiola's connection with Jalen Lloyd and Dylan Raiola's connection with Malachi Coleman. At the end of the day, a lot of these quarterbacks, they gravitate towards players in their same recruiting class. Jalen Lloyd and Malachi Coleman, those were guys in the class of 2023. Dylan Raiola is 2024, so is Jacory Barney. So for that reason, they're going to have a tighter knit connection than those other guys. So that's really important, is that one-on-one connection. And number two, I mean, if he has that year that we project him to be, he's going to be one of the best returning wide receivers going into his sophomore campaign. And with his talent, with his ceiling, he absolutely can become a first-round draft pick. I mean, compare Dylan Raiola and Jacory Barney, that dynamic duo, to Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. That's what I foresee this to potentially be, and that's why I'm hyped up about Jacory Barney. So, I mean, do-it-all receiver, good hands, good speed, can return kicks. What more can you ask for? And he's going to absolutely burn his red shirt and play this season. So watch out for Jacory Barney. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you hyped up about this prospect? And once again, I hope you're having a good 4th of July. Man, really, really exciting day. So, hey, if you made it this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Mount Rhule, and see you in the next one.